Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out to attend this evening's Alumni Forum event on career opportunities, specifically with Crewcial Partners. And we're excited about the partnership that we're building with this organization and grateful for our two featured speakers this evening. They're going to introduce themselves shortly, but again, we just want to thank our speakers. We want to take the time to thank all of you for participating. Please note that this event is being recorded, so you will have the opportunity to watch it again at a later date. We're also going to share it with those that did not have the opportunity to attend. So at this time, we are going to transition over to the presentation, and I'm excited to welcome our two featured speakers today.
Nadine, you want to start?
Hi, everyone. We're Crewcial Partners. I'm Nadine Urena. I'm the Director of HR here at Crewcial. We provide investment expertise to help make a difference for our clients, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. I started here at Crewcial about almost 10 years ago. I graduated in 2010 from Connecticut College, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I majored in economics and I minored in government, but I always sort of like making relationships, meeting people, and so I thought there was an aspect of HR that I would really enjoy. So I started networking with a few of my friends, and I said, hey, I want to get into HR eventually. So like 2 years after I graduated, she said, hey, are you still interested in getting into HR? And I'm like, yes, I'm still very much interested in getting into HR. So she's like, hey, my old boss is looking to, hire an HR assistant. So I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So I came to Crewcial and I met with the director of HR at that time. And it was like an instant connection. We just bonded so well. We're still really great friends. And I've been at Crewcial ever since. I started as an HR assistant, then I became a coordinator, then I became the manager of payroll and benefits because my love is numbers and things like that. So I wanted to do that side of things. And then now I'm the director of HR and I oversee all things HR at the moment.
So good evening, fellow DSU alum. I am Savon Richardson Moore. I am a Delaware State University graduate. I graduated in 2003 with a bachelor's degree in political science. And even though I have a degree in political science, I've basically worked in finance for 17 years. I did dabble in finance and business right before I graduated from Delaware State, but it was kind of too late for me to change my major. So I finished out with my degree in political science. I started out working with HSBC Bank, and I kind of elevated within that firm to the point where I was working in the alternative funds department and working with hedge funds and hedge fund managers and their investors. Crewcial is the fourth company I've been with, but also it's the longest company I've been with. I've been with Crewcial Partners for 8 years now. And like a dean with the previous director of HR, I connected with her and she basically brought me in as well. And I started in our client services department, which is now our investment coordination department. And last year, my managers and Crewcial's partners, knowing my passions and after some ideas that I've expressed, they felt that my skills would be great in helping the firm expand our diversity relationships. But so far, the work I've been doing with the firm has been very enlightening and it's been very exciting. And it really makes me feel good that we're helping our clients to make a difference in their communities. And that was one thing that I love about the firm. So we want to start off today with a term that we use at the firm called Ikigai. We have a few different offices and conference rooms at our main office, and one of our rooms is a meditation room, and the meditation room's name is Ikigai. And Ikigai is a Japanese concept that means your reason for being. Ikigai, a reason to get up in the morning. So why work at Crewcial? Crewcial contributes to my reason for being. So the 4 pillars that we want to touch base on with regards to Ikigai today are what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what are you good at? So let's start off with what you love. So here, you can go to the next slide, Leah. Thank you. So what do you love? What is your purpose? Our vision here at Crewcial is to create a world where one day all nonprofits will have the resources to achieve their vision. Our mission at Crewcial is to partner with nonprofits to invest their capitals in ways that serve their mission and expand their impact.
Yep. So obviously our mission and vision are really important to us, right? So with that comes hand in hand our dedication to diversity. It is important that we have a very diverse firm because we have very diverse clients that do a lot of different things around the world. Crewcial has been recognized as one of the most diverse firms in our industry, in the asset management space. We're 13% Asian, 28% Black, African-American, 16% Hispanic, Latinos, and 43% white. So we pride ourselves in that. It's very important that we have a firm that is very diverse because at the end of the day, investments is about diversification. And if you have different ideas coming that work for you, then you will have more investments that are more diverse. Our CEO is Latino, so we love that. So it's very important to us that our firm is diverse. We're also 100% employee owned. The firm was established in 1980. And in 2004, for the employees, they loved the work we were doing. So they bought the company from the founder and they've been here ever since. And it's important for me to say this because when you have owners that were employees, they take care of you. Right? So they know what it feels like to be an employee. So they make sure you have good benefits. They make sure you get paid well because they were there before. So, and I like to say, when I recruit, I like to say, we're like a big family, but sometimes you don't like all your cousins. So that's kind of like the feeling here at Crewcial. We're a family, and the fact that they're employee owned is really important to us because you can see them in the kitchen. They'll be cleaning up. There's no like names on the door. You can just walk around and you wouldn't know who's an owner because everybody's very like sort of down to earth, and there's no, I like to say you treat the janitor like you treat the CEO. That's really important here in our firm. So we have a culture that fosters belonging. We want to make sure you belong and that you feel at home here. That way you can do your best work for the firm and your best work for our clients. So that's really important to us.
Yeah, so our next slide is basically, we just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on Crewcial and who works here and some of the things that we do. These are just a few pictures from previous events. Obviously, pre-COVID, we had events multiple times a year, even if, and they would be team building events. We would do an amazing bowling team building event every year around April. And of course, holiday parties, but we would do an event every quarter because like Aideen said, we want to foster that culture of belonging and making sure everyone feels like a family. And even as you can see in one of the other pictures, that was during COVID. We couldn't gather in person like we wanted to, but the firm still wanted to make sure that we fostered that feeling of family and wanted to have something so that we still felt like, so that we as employees can feel like we care about you, we miss you, and we want to maintain our relationship with every single employee that we have here. Mm-hmm. So the second pillar of Ikigai is what the world needs. So our nonprofit clients need to operate in perpetuity. We partner with nonprofits to invest their capital in ways that serve their mission and expand their impact. We have been focused on providing customized investment advice to nonprofit institutes, like Aideen said, since 1980. Nonprofits require specific expertise to manage an endowment pool of assets and build a platform that can attract future capital. This is rooted in strong performance, but also includes an understanding of the communities and its needs. Our work in ESG and diversity supports this by allowing our clients to invest in a manner that drives impact beyond nominal profit returns. So 95% of our clients are nonprofit organizations and charities. Our three main areas that we work in are educational institutions, community foundations, and religious organizations. Like I said, we help them to manage their endowment pools and grow so that we can keep building and helping them to build in their communities as well as their operational costs. Mm-hmm. So 37.1 billion we have under advisement. One building we have within our OCIO area, and I'll explain a little bit more about what OCIO is. We have 111 advisory clients, and we have 8 OCIO clients. So the difference between our advisory area and our OCIO area is advisory, we meet with our clients, we bring them great investment managers, we give them advice on where they should put their money. But at the end of the day, the final decision is theirs. And as well as even though we help them move their money and we help them and we connect them, we help and we connect with their banks as to where things go, and we help with a lot of their paperwork, the final decision and a lot of the work is on them. But with regards to our OCIO clients and our OCIO space, we have a lot of autonomy of where clients will put their money, where their money will go, and we move their money. We handle their paperwork. We basically sign off on everything. So that area is fairly new. We've only been in the OCIO space for about 3 years. That's why our number is so low with regards to OCIO clients. But we are definitely continue to build in that space. And we're pretty confident that the longer that we work in this space and become more established in the OCIO space, that number of OCIO clients will increase. So we just wanted to give you an idea of some of the clients, a few of the clients that we work with. And so you see, we have the Kessler Foundation, as well as Curtis Institute of Music, and the Salvation Army. And the Salvation Army is one of our biggest clients because we all know who the Salvation Army is. So we have a really big hand in helping them with a lot of their day-to-day operations, as well as giving them opportunities to do a lot of the events and a lot of the ways that they give back in their communities as well. So I'm just going to pass it on to Aideen so she can kind of get into the third aspect of Ikigai, which I think is something everyone would be interested in.
Right. What can you actually get paid for to do right here at Crewcial? And, we're a really small firm. We're only 68 employees. It's not like we hire massive amount of people every year. And it's not like we're even actively recruiting right now at the moment, but there's always an opportunity to network and to meet people, because you never know who's going to be here in 2 weeks, right? We might need a research analyst in 2 weeks or someone in accounting. So I'll talk to you a little bit about other departments. We have a finance department. Obviously, they do all of our accounting work, accounts payable, accounts receivables, and things like that. We have administration operations, which is they make sure, the office is running, our administrative assistant, our receptionist, and things like that. And then we have the investment coordination department, which is a department that Siobhan started in, which is a department that helps the client move the money back and forth from the bank to the investment. Then we have the investment team, and that's the research team. And they're the ones that meet with the money managers, right? So they're the ones that meet with all these money managers. They vet them. They see, is it a good idea? Is it a good investment? And then if they think it's a good investment, they get put on an approved list. And those money managers we recommend to our clients, and that way our clients can invest in that. Then we have the consulting part of the investment team, which is really, we can say they're really the salespeople, right? And the relationship managers for the client. So their job basically is to, find clients, bring clients to the firm, and then advise the client on how to invest their money, how to build their portfolio, basically be the guide for the client. This is where you should put it. We're right now the world is changing all the time. So they need to kind of educate the client, be steady. I know things are in turmoil right now, but they'll get better. So they got to have to handhold the client in a sense. Then we have our performance and reporting team, and they basically, all the returns that the money managers put out there, they need to be calculated. So they calculated, and then they put a report together for the client that tells the client, look, this investment was, in line with the benchmark, below the benchmark, above the benchmark. So that's what they do. Then there's HR, of course, and we make sure that, the culture stays intact. We make sure people get paid. We recruit. We do all sorts of things here at the firm. So that's, so right now the department is me, and we have a manager of training and development. We also do training and development. So it's a slew of things for the firm to make sure that our employees are doing the best work they can. So that's really important to us. Then we have due diligence, and due diligence are basically They do the due diligence on the managers. So they make sure that the managers that we're recommending are not doing any made-up schemes and they're following SEC rules. So that's what the due diligence team does. And then we also have technology. And in technology, we have network, which is, IT support. We have data. We deal with a massive amount of data, obviously, because we get a lot of returns, market values. And then we have application developments that they build things for us to make things better for the client. Like if we want to share documents with the client, they build a portal for the client. So those are some of all the departments we have and how you can get involved here at Crewcial. And I want to talk a little bit about some of our benefits, of course, because you want to know what you can get if you were to work here at Crewcial. We have very competitive salaries. We have medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance. We have a 401k. We have tuition reimbursement, which a lot of people love because it is important for us that if you want to continue your education, we'll help you. And especially if your education would align with the work you're doing here at Crewcial and to help our clients. So we have a very robust tuition reimbursement program. We have short-term, long-term disability. Professional development, again, goes very hand in hand with tuition reimbursement. Any certification you might want to take, any class you think you want to take, anything you think is going to make you better at your job, we are 100% on board with that, and we will reimburse you for that. And remote work. So everybody's remote now. COVID has led us here, but we were remote way before COVID. Like we were a very flexible work from home space. That was a reason. I think that's the main reason a lot of people love working here and still have been here, because we provide this flexibility or work-life balance that they weren't able to get elsewhere, especially in a finance world. So even now with COVID, everybody's home. We allow people to do the work where they feel the most comfortable. And that basically means remote work. We are very open to being very flexible. So that's what you can get paid for. And next is, what are you good at, right? So what are some of the skills that we value here that are going to help our clients and are going to help you be successful here? We obviously are big on teamwork. That's essential. We have a very open door policy. So you need to be able to work with people. You need to be able to work across departments and sort of get along with people. That's important. You need to be adaptable. Things change. Sometimes it doesn't, things don't happen the way you want it to be. So you need to be able to be adaptable. You need to have integrity. That's important because you need to be honest about the work we do. We don't, the finance world at times gets a bad rep. So we need to have very big integrity for the work we do. We need people who have really good interpersonal skills, really good communication skills. That's essential. So that's some of the, competencies and skills that we look for here. Another really essential part for us is people who I recruit, who I meet with, need to have balanced EQI, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence really is the art of being able to read a room, being able to adapt to your environment, and sort of being able to get your point across and like getting buy-in from people. So it's very important that you have very big emotional intelligence. So when we make an offer, we usually do an emotional intelligence assessment for your sake and for the manager's sake. That way the manager knows how you operate and how to help you succeed in the role. We need very big critical thinkers. We don't only want people who are going to tell us there's a mistake here. Tell us how we can fix it. Come with the solution. So critical thinkers are essential for us. We also like people who are curious. Curiosity of thought. This goes hand in hand with diversity. Having different diverse thoughts are important because you get more curious about other things that you might have never heard of. So we need curiosity and we need thinkers in that sense. We need people who are driven. We don't have a lot of micromanagers here. So you're not going to have a manager always asking you, is your work done? No, you have the freedom of going out there and looking for the best idea that you can bring back for the firm. So you need to be self-driven because you're not going to have people on your back always telling you what you need to get done. And I usually like to say this one because it's true. We have a strict no asshole policy, right? We don't have any corner offices. We don't have names on the door. So you need to come in here. You can't come in here thinking you're better than anybody else. That's never going to work here. We like even-tempered people, very flexible people who just know we're here to do the best work for the client. You're not better than anybody else. We don't have a lot of hierarchy. Yes, we obviously have a C-suite and a CEO, but I can walk into the CEO's office right now, no problem. And we want everybody to have that opportunity. talked a little bit about that. So those are the 4 pillars that I think explain to you why Crewcial, why work for us, and why we think it's a great concept for us. I don't know if Savon, if you want to add anything else there.
No, Adine, you said it best. I think we kind of summed up as much as possible in those 4 areas, and we're just open to any questions at this point.
Yeah.
Great. So thank you, Savon and Adine, excuse me, for this wonderful presentation. I mean, you can definitely hear the passion that both of you have, and the enjoyment that you have for where you work. So thank you for providing this presentation. At this time, we're going to stop sharing, and we're going to feature our 2 speakers, spotlighting their video. At this time, we're going to open it up for Q&A. So please, audience, everyone in attendance, know this is a safe space. This is your time to interact with our 2 speakers. We do have a couple questions that we're going to go ahead and start and kick off the Q&A with, but we want to encourage you to feel free to come off of mute, ask a question. If you're more comfortable with the chat box, please feel free to utilize the chat box as well. So the first question that we have, and either speaker, please feel free to address it, is can you describe the culture of Crewcial Partners, especially as it relates to DE&I?
So I think we can both touch base on that. It kind of goes back to our previous chief of HR and her idea to make the firm as diverse as possible. And I honestly feel like she did a great job at that. Like we said, our CEO is a Hispanic male. We have an Asian female on in the C-suite as well. And we have an African-American female in the C-suite as well. I've been told by interns that they've never seen, and they've interviewed and researched companies, huge companies, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. They've never seen a C-suite like ours. Our firm is extremely diverse. We have people there from all sorts of areas around the world. We have colleagues that are from the Caribbean. We have colleagues that are from Asia. We have colleagues from all over, but we make sure to touch base and make sure that to celebrate everyone's culture, to celebrate everyone's identity. We make sure that everyone feels included and that everyone feels special. So when I was asked to work and help build our DE&I department and our partnerships and our relationships, I loved it. And to be honest with you, it was a little hard for me at first because I felt like, well, we're so far in advance and how we foster diversity, equity, inclusion. I didn't know where to start because it's like, I could understand if we were a firm that was so behind the ball, but we're so far in advance that it was a little hard for me to figure out where to start. But I feel like that's a testament to the firm and where we are. And it is a little challenging, but I appreciate that they put me in this position to be up for the challenge. Adine, did you want to add anything?
I mean, I think you really touched on all the important points here, and it is hard, right? Because a lot of firms, they start D&I programs because they don't have diversity, right? They need all these resource groups, but we already have that here, so it is much more challenging in that sense. And I think this is something I wish Savon could touch on, but. So we obviously have a lot of internal diversity, which is essential to us, but we don't want to stop there. We're also now focusing on having diversity with our clients, having more diverse clients, trying to have diversity with the managers we recommend. This is actually a big push. Savon can talk a little bit more about this, but money managers that we meet and that come to us, they're usually, let's say like rich white guys, right? They have a lot of money and they want us to put money in there. We want to find women money managers, people of color money managers. That way they can get a seat at the table because maybe they don't have 100 million, but they have good ideas, but they just don't have the access to get in this room because they don't have 100 million. So Savon, if you want to touch a little bit on that, but we're also focusing on diversity when it comes to that, to our asset management and our money managers.
Yeah, and even with regards to that, like Adine said, one thing that working with diverse asset managers is also the companies that they invest in. a lot of them invest in companies that are doing great things in the community, in diverse communities. A
Yes.
lot of them are investing in entrepreneurs who are Black and Brown students, or Black and Brown people that wouldn't get any other opportunity because they look different, or because someone doesn't believe in them. But when you have a person of color and they want to be able to invest in another person of color, it helps to boost your morale. It makes you feel good about yourself. So we do play a big part in a diverse manager search. We have a colleague, Angela Matheny, who is in charge of sourcing those diverse managers. She goes out, she goes to conferences, she networks, she works really hard to bring back those people that are really unfortunately, they're overlooked in a lot of other areas in the finance world. Like Aideen said, we don't always want to be the people that all we're doing are giving money managers, these rich white men, our money. No, because they're not necessarily or always going to invest in the communities that really need it, or give the opportunities to the entrepreneurs that really need it. So we are very big. Over the past 5 years, we've really built this pipeline of sourcing diverse managers, and we are basically so ahead of the game in that aspect as well. But like Aideen said, we're so far in that aspect and we're not stopping. We're going to keep going in that area, but we also want to connect with a lot more diverse nonprofit organizations and charities and foundations, giving them an opportunity, helping them build their portfolios and their endowments. And even if it's an organization where we might not be able to work with directly with bringing them on as clients, how can we volunteer? Where can we donate? Where do you need help, and where can we help that we can help you to help your community? So, yeah.
Thank you both for those responses. It's great how much your organization truly values DE&I and the strategies and actions that you're actually taking to display it within your organization. So thank you so much for describing that. And of course, as HBCU graduates, as the Alumni Association of Delaware State University, diversity is key to us. And that takes us to our next question, which is, how does the company give back to the community, and especially HBCUs?
So we do a number of donations throughout the years, but also with regards to HBCUs, we source HBCUs for our internship program. We have connected with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, and we've worked with them to source interns. We've participated in their Leadership Institute year before last, and we wanted to last year, but by the time we got around to it, they were sold out. So, so this year we're trying to be on the ball and be more proactive and get into everything early so that we can have a seat at the table and we can introduce ourselves to students, and so that they can get to know us and get to know about Crewcial. And the fact that it's in New York this year, is actually in person, it's in New York this year, would probably be like really good for us as well. So we connect in that way where we give back and we reach back out for students. We are also looking for other organizations. We worked with OHUB last year, and they worked with a lot of HBCU students with regards to South by Southwest. So myself, our previous director of HR, as well as our colleague Angela Matheny, we did a panel with OHUB because we wanted to connect with students. We wanted them to know about asset management. A lot of people know about finance, but they don't necessarily know the separate divisions of finance and the things that you can do. And we also wanted them to see 3 Black women in this industry who are really doing great things. We wanted them to know, look, it's possible. And for me personally, as an HBCU graduate, again, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been with Crewcial the longest, and I've had my ups and downs in this industry. But anything I can do to reach back to HBCU students and help them not go through the things that I went through in this industry, letting them know it's possible to be successful in finance, it's possible to be a Black female in finance, and it's possible to be a Black female HBCU graduate in finance. I just feel like HBCU graduates get overlooked because we didn't go to a PWI or we didn't go to an Ivy League. but we're just as smart. And in a lot of ways, we're also smarter. So like I said, Thurgood Marshall College Fund, OHUB, building relationships with Delaware State University, as well as other universities, to be able to connect with their alumni so that we can connect and network with people when we have mid-level and senior level positions open. We don't only want to focus on interns. We want to focus on people that have that experience and that we can bring in because they have that experience to work now. And then just, like I said, also with regards to HBCUs, just reaching out, seeing where we can volunteer, seeing where we can talk to students, seeing what we can do and what they need. And even though right now we don't have any HBCUs on our client list, but that's also another goal, to bring in HBCU clients, to help them grow their endowments, to give them advice and tell them where to put their money, how to grow their portfolios, because we know that with helping them in that aspect, it helps the school with their operations and to be able to function and to stay afloat. And it also helps the students. It gives them scholarships and other things like that. It helps institutions build new buildings. So if we can connect and even bring on institutions as clients, that's also a great way for us to be able to give back to HBCUs.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your transparency. And I will say that as an alum, we are very proud of you for continuing to push through and break those glass ceilings and give back along the way. So thank you for that. Aideen, is there anything that you'd like to add?
She reps her school. She loves her school. She loves it, and her focus on HBCU is amazing. She's been like pushing us for years. She's like, we need to get in, HBCUs. We need to get HBCU students, right? We've always had a lot of diverse interns, right? But she's like, we need to also get diversity in the schools these interns come from. So she's been a big push for us on that. So
that's wonderful. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask one more question before we open it up for audience Q&A, just to make sure we do provide the opportunity for those in attendance to ask questions. So want to encourage you that if you do have a question, you'll be able to come off of mute, or feel free to put it in the chat box. So the next question we have is, you all spoke about kind of what your day at work looks like, right? About the different events that you've had, being able to work remotely. And so just wanted to have you elaborate further on what does a normal day look like at Crewcial Partners?
Sure. Do you want to go first or me, Savon?
You can go first, AD.
I don't think there's a normal day for me anymore. I've been in this new role for like 8 months now. So I'm always doing a lot of different things. My biggest focus right now is trying to kind of create a vision for the HR team and for the firm, right? So I'm very focused right now in culture, right? Because we know as we are remote, we're less connected. So culture is one big issue that it's top of mind for me. I'm thinking about it all the time. So culture is important. I'm also thinking about succession planning for our firm, right? Thankfully our C-suite is, fairly young, so we still have time, but you always have to think about what happens if something happens to one of them. We need to have a plan in place. So succession planning is another big issue that I'm sort of thinking about all the time. Also thinking about compensation. We want to make sure we are competitive, right? Because at the end of the day, we are competing for people who work at JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. That could be making a lot more money than here at Crewcial, but we give you something else. We give you that work-life balance. We give you that mission. We actually we're not just making rich people rich, right? We are helping organizations help the community. So if you care about that, you're going to want to work for a firm like ours. So, I got to make sure that we are paying competitively, that our benefits are well. So I do payroll and benefits, so I deal with that. In the last 8 months, my role has been a lot of meetings all the time, because there's always something that comes up. There's always a situation. So I do a lot of meetings, but a lot of my day is now just trying to figure out a vision for the firm to move forward.
Great. Thank you so much. Savon?
So a lot of my day, I'm still fairly new in my role as well. A lot of I have my hand in basically just about every department of the firm. So I work with our business development team, and I work with them with regards to helping to make new connections, to network, to organizations that and expand us into areas that we're not really known, in order to build those connections, and to help within our communities or within their communities. I work with Adine with regards to HR. I work with her with sourcing our interns and interviewing our interns. And even once they're here during the summer, they basically kind of report to me. And I work with our colleague Dale Favors. He's another HBCU graduate. He graduated from FAMU. He is like, because of COVID, we've had to adapt and do everything virtually because we still wanted to be able to have those internship programs. So I work with him a lot on the day-to-day with our interns. So, and then I also work with our investment team on a lot of things. I work with my colleague, Angela Matheny. Like I said, she does a lot of the diverse manager sourcing. So we have companies now like Base 10 Ventures. They created exclusively for HBCUs to get access to high quality private equity investments. And so just working a little bit in every aspect in every area, but I'm somewhat like Adine. I sit in a lot of meetings now, a lot more than I did when I worked in investment coordination. So for me, it's never, every day never looks the same. I literally start my day with saying, okay, what time is my first meeting? And the week literally always starts where I might not have any meetings at all, but by the end of Monday, my week is full. So no day ever looks the same. So it does get a little bit busy and a little bit hectic, but it's also helping me to put more structure and a stamp on my role and what the firm needs and how I contribute to that as well.
Excellent. Thank you both for those responses. So at this time, I do want to pause here in case there are questions. We do have a couple more that we can ask, but we do want to pause if the audience does have a question. So at this time, feel free to take yourself either off of mute or put a question in the chat box. We'll just pause for a moment. Checking to see if there's any questions. So a follow-up question though to that previous is we asked you, what does your regular day look like, right? And each of you had a very unique response that the days look different and it's based off your meeting schedules and just, what it is that you're working on at that time. So a follow-up question to that is, it sounds like both of you all have also had multiple roles within the organization. So can you elaborate on the opportunities that exist as it relates to rotating and going from one role to another role if you're interested?
Yeah. Sure. And I mean, I think Savon is going to be the perfect person to answer this. But obviously, because I'm in HR, I can tell you, we want this, right? If people want to grow and stay with us longer, that's essential for us because we're not losing good talent, good people. But if they're not fulfilled in what they're doing, we are very open to trying to find a place where they can use their skills best. So Savon is a success story. So I can tell you.
Oh, sorry, my dog is. So yeah, I started out in investment coordination and I loved it. Investment coordination, client services, that's mainly what my background has been in throughout my entire financial career. So I like that management, they see when you're passionate about something. We're like family. We talk about things. They know the things you're passionate about. They can tell kind of, okay, maybe this person's getting a little bored, but they're a great person. We don't want to lose them. Where else can we use them? How can we rotate them? What department do they fit better? They're not hogs when they have a good employee. Like, no, we want to keep them all to myself. So for me, it was very simple. I've never had a manager ask me in a previous company, never had a manager ask me, what am I passionate about? And for someone to ask me that, that's telling me I care about what matters to you. And I want to make sure that you're doing what matters to you. And in me saying that and explaining that to my previous manager, I think he kind of already had some things in mind. But between that and like Adine says, I am I mean, I'm HBCUs versus everybody, but I'm definitely Hornets versus everybody. So I've expressed that. Everyone at the firm knows how I feel about HBCUs. And that's what it was for me. I noticed that we had a very diverse intern class. And a lot of the students were from PWIs and Ivy Leagues. And my main question was, why are there no HBCU students on this list? And our previous director of HR and another colleague of ours was like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? And it wasn't in a way of like, you can't do anything, is here you go, we're giving you this task, show us what you got. And I was able to produce. I reached out to Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I was able to set up that relationship and establish that relationship with them as a place to start. For me, that's a starter. And since then, like I said, to be able to work with OHUB, to be able to connect with Delaware State's Alumni Association, to be able to connect with other organizations. I met with an organization yesterday called the Diversity Org, and they're doing amazing things for students, for colored students, for Black and Brown students. And a lot of their students are HBCU students. So once I made those things happen, the firm, and they kind of, I feel like it was also already known, I'm not just a sayer, I'm a doer, that I was able to follow through on what the issue was that I saw, expressing myself and coming with this option and this solution. It was, and then as I've expressed myself over the years, the things that I see within the firm and ways that I think we can to do things better or to expand what we're doing in the firm, it was, this is where we need you. This is where you're in client services, you're in investment coordination, and we're not utilizing you the best way, not just for the firm, but also for you. So that it's a matter of expressing yourself. It's a matter of speaking your truth. It's a matter of even just having casual conversations with your colleagues and them knowing the things that you do and the things that you're passionate about. Everyone knows I'm also passionate. I'm just passionate about education. I am the president of the Scholarship Educational Ministry at my church. So it's like me and education, everyone knows Savon is a lover of education. So it's just things in that sense where they see what's in you and they utilize it, not just for them, but they want you to be able to do something like that. That saying is, if you do what you love, it's never going to feel like work. Yeah. And that's what the firm loves as well. They don't want it to feel like work.
Great. Thank you both so much. We do have a question in the chat. Can you please explain a day in the life of an analyst fresh out of college?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we do have our internship program. So we do try to bring our interns from the summer to the fall. That way they can sort of get their feet wet. So they are basically doing a lot of research, right? So you got to be sort of abreast of what's happening in the world, right? You're reading the Wall Street Journal, you're sort of looking at what's happening in the market. That's important. And then you're looking for the next big idea. You're doing MPI searches and you're looking for funds, and then you look into a fund and then you read what the financials of that firm. What is that firm doing? So it's really a lot of research, a lot of learning, private equity, real estate. You can go into any asset class you want. So it's,
oh, I think we lost her.
Yeah, I think someone called her on her, it probably came through her iPad. She'll be back. So to kind of elaborate on what Adine was saying, it is a lot of research, it is a lot of reading, and it is a lot of writing. But our research team and our analysts are very, they teach very well and they guide very well so that they want you to be successful. Like Adine was saying, we start in the summer, but from last year, we offered 3 summer interns an internship in the fall. And in the fall, we offered 2 to come back in the spring. So our goal is to be able to hire interns we have, I would say, 4 at the moment, young men that have started out as interns, and we have 2 on the investment team. They're research analysts, and not Kari and Torian. They work with our private equity side, and they are brilliant young men. They are extremely smart. So, but it's a very, when it was in person, it was an extremely rigorous program, and it is still very rigorous, but we don't expect interns to come in the door knowing everything, but we are here to teach, and we just want them to be eager and to learn and to be able to come in and just pick up whatever we teach them and then just take things and make it their own. That's a lot of what we do.
Sorry about that, guys. My apologies.
Hey, no problem at all. So we have about 10 minutes remaining, so we do want to maybe ask 2 more questions. So again, if anyone has any follow-up questions that they'd like to put on the chat box, or if you'd like to come off of mute, please feel free to do so. So just one additional question is, I know right now we're highlighting a lot of the awesome, amazing things, right, with the company. But the question that we'd have is, what do you all see as maybe the biggest challenge that the company has or that you all might have?
So yeah, our biggest challenge right now, and I'll be super transparent, is, building our business development, right? So we were a firm, we've been around since the 80s, right? But a lot of our clients came through referrals, through connections. A person one investment committee member knows another committee member and another foundation, and that's how the connections built. We now have to build our brand ourselves, right? And go out there and market. We never really had marketing. A lot of people don't really know who we are because we're not a big name. So we need to go out there and market ourselves. We need to go out there and relationship build, meet these, these nonprofits, these foundations. So one of our colleagues likes to say, we used to have arranged marriages, but now we have to go out there and date. So that's really it. We need to build our brand. That way we're known in this space. We have a lot of competitors that are a lot bigger, right? So they're a lot more known. And because we're such a niche market, right? We focus on endowments, foundations. It's much harder. It's not like a flashy thing you can market out there. So that's our biggest challenge right now. We need to be better at putting our name out there, building our brand, and building relationship with these nonprofits, endowments early on. That way we can get clients, right? We don't only have to rely on referrals. Thank you for that transparency. Savon, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, what Aideen said was very true and very accurate. I've been saying it for a while now of us, we need to expand our connections and we need to expand our network because people don't really know who Crewcial are. And the best way for us to expand our client base is to expand our network. But we also have to look in areas where, because we do deal with clients that have a certain size endowment. But we've never been the type to say, oh, you don't have the endowment size that we work with, we're just not going to work with you. We have had consultants sometimes that might just look at an organization's investment policy and give them some advice and tell them, well, maybe you should move this and shift this around. And this just because it's out of us just trying to help, because we know that the advice we're giving them is going to help them in the long run, and it's going to help their communities. We're not going to just give them advice and say, well, you can't pay us, so we're not going to talk to you. We don't do that. If we really believe in your organization and you align a lot of things of what you believe and the work that you do aligns with Crewcial and our message and our brand, we have no problem saying, let's look and see what advice we can give you to help you grow and help your communities. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that response. We do have a comment in the chat box, and it says, I am very, very proud to have met Aideen and Savon. They are great human beings. So that's a wonderful comment. So we only have about 5 minutes remaining. We do have just one closing question, but I want to pause again in case there's anyone in attendance that would like to either take themselves off of mute and ask a question, or if there's any additional questions and comments that you'd like to add into the chat box. So we'll pause here just for a moment. And please note, ladies, that you have a friend in our Alumni Association. I mean, we're strong advocates of our alumni, and anything that we can continue to do to support you throughout your career, Savon, but also just within your organization. We're going to send this session today to our alumni. We'll feature you all in the newsletter, and hopefully that continues to help spread awareness of your business, because we appreciate you all taking the time out to provide this opportunity to our alumni. So the last question we'd like to leave you both with is, are there any key resources that you'd like to share with those on the call that they can utilize to learn more about your organization, or how they can get further connected with you all? And then is there just any final piece of advice in general that you'd like to leave with everyone today?
Sure. So I just want to say thank you and for letting us do this. We want to help you as well. So anything we can do to help your institution is important to us, because again, it's a two-way street. So thank you so much for letting us join. I welcome everybody to please go on our website, crucialpartners.com. You can see the work we do on there. Follow us on LinkedIn. You can request me on LinkedIn. I am totally open. I accept everyone. I love building connections. So please find me on LinkedIn and we can continue the conversation. You can, you can send me your resume. You can send me an email. My email is aurena@crucialpartners.com. I'm very transparent. Like, it's okay. I am totally okay getting emails, getting resumes, and I'll save it, right? If there's not a fit right now, we can have a conversation in a few weeks, in a few months, next year. We never know, right? So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I kind of wanted to follow what Aideen said, and I definitely want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity as an alum to be able to speak to the Alumni Association, to be able to connect with other alum. I feel bad in saying I don't think I've been to homecoming since 2008. So other than my DSU friends that I talk to on a regular basis, I have been a little out of pocket, but this has really been great. Anything, Aideen says it, I rep Delaware State like to the fullest, and anything that we can do as an organization to give back to the institution, I'm definitely down for, and I'm definitely here for in so many ways. And like Aideen said, you can follow us on LinkedIn. You can send me an email, srichardson, RICHARDSON @crucialpartners.com. You can request me on LinkedIn as well. I'm very open. And there is, even though I agree with Aideen, you can go to our website, but we're also revamping our website. So there's going to be a lot more to come on the website. But like she said, we want to help you. We want to help the institution. We want to help the students. That is something that is not just very dear to me, it's very dear to Crewcial Partners. So anything that we can do to help Delaware State University, as well as other HBCUs, we're definitely here for.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both. On behalf of our Delaware State University Alumni Association, we just want to thank you again for this excellent presentation, for having this wonderful, transparent, interactive conversation with us. We look forward to continuing to grow this partnership. This is the first session of others to come. We're going to continue to promote your organization and just grow the interactions we have between you all, our alumni, and you all, as well as the school. So on behalf of DSUAA, we do greatly appreciate you all. So with that, thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Stay connected to our Delaware State University Alumni Association, and we'll all touch base again soon. Thank you.
Guys.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, everyone.